Guys, something is terribly wrong. Well, I've been playing with my black cybie today. I'm uploading this video first. I have videos of it working before it fried, or whatever is wrong with it. Well, it's got the same problem as the gold now, only the eyes light up. Both of these cybies are non-functional. They won't move, they won't turn on. These two are, well, his walking is sort of broken. This is the new one. Its legs don't work right. This one's okay, but even he freezes up, I think. Well, he started freezing up, and sometimes he'd work when I, took out the battery and put it back in, but he's not now, and I'll show you. This is a charged battery. Once again, I used him to test, and his eyes lit up green. Well, this one right here, blink red. There we go, I just set this in here. Almost. I don't like these battery doors. It's so hard to get them in. God, these battery covers do not want to go in. This is half the problem, probably. Oh my god. Please. Oh, well now it's working. What the? Holy shit. No, no, no. Oh my god. Don't keep doing that. Well, basically, earlier when I put the battery in, his eyes would stay red and they would blink as if it was failing to turn on. Now there's gotta be a way to reset these dogs, because apparently something goes wrong in them, because he just quit working and I could not get him to turn on, and now he's turning on, but this one still will not turn on. I think there's a way to reset these dogs, but it doesn't mention it in the manual. I go to the troubleshooting, and it doesn't say anything. Even the reset button setting. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't say anything. See, this is it for troubleshooting. It's not what I'm looking for, like how these dogs won't turn on. Troubleshoot. Yeah. This is all there is. This is all there is. So it says right here to try these out, reset it. That doesn't work. I've tried it with this gold one. I've hit the reset button, and I've hit the reset, and I've replugged in the battery, and it never worked. There's got to be something else. It cannot be fried. I've never used this gold cybie. I've probably only used it 5 times. I've used this one a lot more. So there's no way this could possibly be fried. Yes, I did get a new one, but his walking is bad. I actually got that one. I ordered this before I discovered this one was bad. Okay, so I just hope... I don't know if this one's gonna stay working, though, because it would just freeze up. The eyes would turn red, which was weird. It's probably gonna do that tomorrow morning when I try and turn it on again. I've got 4 batteries, but that's out of subject a little. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about if it's not turning on at all in general. Like, all these right here will flash on the camera, but the eyes will like quickly flicker. They'll be really dim when you plug the battery in. They'll flicker dim, and it just won't come on. Sometimes it'll stay on for like 1 second, and then it'll turn off. Which I've showed you a video of that, and so far nobody's been able to tell me what's wrong with it. And I'm hoping eventually someone does, because if this one's going to go through the same problem, since it's sort of starting to freeze up, this must be a common problem. And there's got to be a way to fix this. Let's see if this... Now, I don't know if I'm going to... Oh, I need to look at the eyes when I plug this in to see if it... See, the eyes still do not come on. And I've taken this cybie apart. I don't think wires can come off on these. I mean, the motors aren't pulling on the wires, so there's no possible way. I mean, the wires are not obstructed with the motors. They're secured. So there's no way it's a wire. And it couldn't have been a wire because it worked the last time I used it. And then when I tried to turn it on, it won't turn on. So a wire can't come off if it's not being touched or pulled on. And in this case, this wire was not being touched or pulled on, so it cannot be a wire. Or else it would have happened the last time I used it, and it didn't do it. It just ran dead, and I couldn't get it to turn back on again. And that was like a year ago. See, the eyes still flicker. That black eye cybie is gonna try and push off the gold eye cybie on the charger. Wait a minute. Oh. I was thinking that the gold one was charged. It's an awkward position. But I just don't know how this thing fried. It was never by like a really hot heater or anything. If anything, it was in a storage room. And then after it was in the... No, it wasn't even in there. It was in my shelf. My slide shelf in my toy room, which used to be my Halloween room. When my Halloween stuff was in there, he was in that shelf. And remember, on March, I moved all my robots to my room on my shelf. So he was very well taken care of. It wasn't too cold, it wasn't hot. So temperature sure doesn't have anything to do with this, because it was room temperature. See, they're on a couple seconds and it turned off. This is not normal. I don't think anything will happen if I try to stick it on the walk-up charger. I've sort of tried that, but I didn't. Like this dog, when I plugged in the battery, it was dead, and it was charged last night, so I was pushing the head button, and of course it was doing that cry where it can't get any power or move or anything. So I was pushing the manual button, and so it would try to send a signal to the dog. And that didn't do anything, so I put the dog up to the charger. I made sure they're touching the metal pieces, clicked manual, it started charging. It wasn't, but before I hit manual, I connected it to the charger, it did nothing. So maybe, I don't know if I connect him and click manual, I don't know if it'll do anything, but if that brings it back, that'll be great. And I didn't know that this was still on, that light. Huh. I mean, I just don't understand how a dog can fry when it was never used. So there's gotta be another problem with it. It wouldn't make sense at all. The manual is just no help. It doesn't explain anything about this problem. Probably because it wasn't discovered. I mean, it wasn't. I guess it's becoming more common now since these dogs are old. Because it almost happened with him, but it didn't. But if it's started freezing up, it's probably going to in a while. So I want to know what's going on, because if this is a common problem, it's most likely going to happen with all of them. And I don't want to replace them anymore. I'm tired of replacing these dogs. You can't really replace the black one either. It's too hard to find. And stop it. There's also silver and white ones as well. There was supposed to be an X cybie that was supposed to come in different colors. These things are actually hackable and programmable as well. I'm sure you already knew that, though. And yeah, so there was supposed to be an X cybie, which it was supposed to be released with the RoboSapien V2 in 2005. Because White V2 was in the Toy Fair. It was on. I saw the pictures on Images. Kevin sent them to me. And then there was supposed to be a Z cybie. Yeah. Letters of the alphabet, robot dogs. There was actually an I cybot and an X cybot, but those were sort of canceled too, I think. I don't know why. I guess they got problem. I don't know why they didn't come out. It just doesn't. Kevin has a new circuit board for this, though. I'm supposed to give this dog to Kevin, and he's going to put the board in it. Only he's going to keep it if he gets it working. Although, I don't think I can send you a battery for Kevin. I sort of need them, because I don't know which of my batteries are bad and which ones are good. I have 4, and I don't have 4 dogs that work to test to see which would last the longest, so. And I don't have 4 walk-up chargers. That'd be easier, but with those original chargers, you have to guess when they're charged, because there's no light indicator at all, so that sort of ruins the battery. I think the walk-up charger is good because it might not overcharge the battery. It'll charge it perfectly without it ruining the battery, so it'll get the right amount of charge. That's why I really wanted to have the walk-up charger. Plus, I mean, of course the dog is too dumb to walk up to the charger, I guess, because I had him over here. He was trying to come. He was right next to it. The charger was right here. He was right here. The black dog turned over here and started crawling over here. Then he started turning back, crawled over here. Well, see, his feet were on this side, so then he kept taking too far steps, and then whenever he tried to turn, he wouldn't even turn for a second, and then he would start heading this direction again. I was like, oh my god, you stupid piece of shit. I actually was swearing at it just to say, because it was like, it's right there. How can you not identify it? You need to calculate how much you need to turn and back up. Apparently he can't do that, so I basically had to help him. And when he did, this thing is too light, so it has to be against the wall. That's what the nail holders are for. You're supposed to pound a nail into the wall, so this thing is like stiff, so the dog can get on it, or otherwise he's going to kick this thing around and he's not going to charge. It has to be against the wall, because this thing is so light-weighted. Because then he can push himself on the dock, you know. Could have been another reason why he kept missing it, too. Because it can't be in the middle of the room, it has to be against the wall. You can actually make it so that it can charge when the battery's not even dead. Like, right now the battery's not dead, but if I wanted him to charge, I could hit the manual button, and it would send an infrared signal to him, and he'd try to come over here onto the charger, which is really cool. But that would overcharge the battery. That's one charge less is going to do it now. That's a waste of a charge, so I wouldn't do that. It was just interesting to, see. But this dog really disappoints me that I haven't used it barely, and it just doesn't work. And I just hope someone can possibly give me an idea of what was wrong with this thing? Because there's got to be some way to reset this thing. Because if I've never used this, and I did not leave the battery stored in this thing either. So if you're thinking that, well, maybe it's fried because you left the battery plugged in it for a year, I had no battery in it, so there's no possible way. There's no current going through the wire, so there's no way it could have possibly shorted out. I just do not think it can be shorted out if there was no battery, and it worked fine when I used it last year, last summer when I got him. That's the last day I used him, I believe. And then I just used blue and black, because I've really never used the gold. Not sure why, I just haven't. Yeah. I mean, having 3 cybies, I usually chose them. So, I don't know. I mean, I might have used him one more time after that, but then that was it. I know I haven't used this thing more than 8 times, though, for sure. Used it when I got it for Christmas. When I got, let's see. When I found the battery again. Then I started using the blue one. And, yeah, I've only used it like, I've only used it like 6 times, I swear to God. So there's just no way it could be fried. And it worked really good, too. This thing was good. I mean, it walked better than him. This one actually has more scratches on the side of its face. You can't see it because it's dark. The only scratches he has is across his eyes, which has been there ever since I've opened it from the box. It was used off eBay, but it worked 100%. I mean, it worked better than him. I mean, so I don't know. That's it.